and white service flags bordered in red were displayed from homes, businesses, schools, and churches to indicate by the use of a blue star each active service member in the U.S. military. When a service member died, a gold star replaced the blue star on the family service flag. I would now invite Gold Star Mother Debbie Murchison to give brief remarks.
I don't know what to say after listening to Dana. I don't have words. I want to thank Sebetha for coming out. This is amazing. I was telling George Lux, who is one of the runners, that this is a very small community compared to some that they happen to visit along the way. But this is a very patriotic community, and I'm proud to have family that is still here and be a part of this. So thank you all so very much for showing up. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. I would now invite remarks from the Run for the Fallen support team, and Laura will then read the final roll call for those honored during today's run.
I first want to say thank you to everybody here, to this town, this community. It's just been awesome. All those who helped put this all together, it's just been amazing. And I'm sorry we don't have more people from our crew here. We have a very small crew. And so I just want to say again, thank you, and thanks for the meal and all the prayers from everybody, because we need them. We've got a long way to go. Today we actually hit day 60, so it's our halfway point, so it's a big day for us. I'm just going to go ahead and read the names. Chad, Augie, would you like to come up? Today we ran for 148 fallen heroes from the War on Terror. That's as a result of service or died in combat or in training. So this period is only from October 9th to November 29th in 2008. So just to give you the depth of and the perception of what we're doing, it's huge. This is one of the lowest days we've ever had as far as reading a name. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to have Augie start.
Would everybody like to stand, please? And turn off your cell phones. Private First Class Matthew Allen Sandberg, United States Army. Sergeant Julian Francis A. Mangolina, United States Army. Corporal Timothy Keith Porter, United States Marine Corps. Corporal Jason A. Carella, United States Marine Corps. Specialist Jeffrey Gerard Wagoneer, United States Army. Petty Officer Third Class Caleb Rumble Manning, United States Navy. Private First Class Kevin Earl Wiley, United States Army. Corporal Ruben M. Fernandez III, United States Army. Sergeant Denise Marie Sanfilippo, United States Marine Corps. Staff Sergeant Stephen J. Goodman, United States Air Force. Staff Sergeant Michael Lee Brooks, United States Army. Specialist Jeffrey G. Johnson, United States Army. A.V. Jason Armand Jenkins, United States Air Force. Private First Class Scott G. Dimon, United States Army Reserve National Guard. Private First Class John Richard Barr, United States Marine Corps. Staff Sergeant Ryan Michael Sullivan, United States Army. Private First Class Christopher A. McCraw, United States Army. Sergeant Preston R. Medley, United States Army. Specialist Corey J. Bertrand, United States Army. Senior Airman Caleb Nathaniel Blake, United States Air Force. Specialist Stephen R. Fortunato, United States Army Reserve. Sergeant Major Jerry Dwayne Patton, United States Army. Specialist Justin A. Saint, United States Army. Sergeant Jan Parweek Patrica, United States Marine Corps. Private Joshua A. Cromer, United States Army.
Private First Class Heath K. Pickard, United States Army. Sergeant Federico G. Borges, United States Army. Sergeant John M. Penich. Staff Sergeant Jamie Alberto Garcia, United States Army. Sergeant Sean Calvin Terry, United States Army. Sergeant Clint A. Sikorsky, United States Army. Gunnery Sergeant Manueletto Joseph Patton, United States Marine Corps. Specialist Justin Daniel Ballard, United States Army. Sergeant Raymond Cortez, United States Army. Colonel Robert Burton Nett, United States Army. Lance Corporal Stacy Ann Dryden, United States Marine Corps. Private Brandon C. Bowman, United States Army. Private First Class Elijah Kane Hunt, United States Army. Captain Robert D. Lindenau, United States Army. Private First Class Timothy Ryan Alderman, United States Army. Major Karsten Monk, United States Air Force. Lieutenant Sarah Ann Lenhoff, United States Navy. Staff Sergeant J. Carter Bentley, United States Army. Specialist Dion L. Taylor, United States Air National Guard. Lance Corporal Sam Sim, United States Marine Corps. Corporal Adrian Robles, United States Marine Corps. Petty Officer Second Class Tirano Foreman, United States Navy. Private First Class Max Joseph Weiler Sexton, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Brian P. House, United States Air Force. Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Fred Mazzella, United States Marine Corps. Private First Class Olive Ophelia Ellis, United States Army. Private First Class Cody J. Eggleston, United States Army. Sergeant Kelly Robert Orton, United States Army. Lieutenant Colonel John Scott Sanford, United States Air Force. Private Corey Michelle Feltner, United States Army. Excuse me. Private First Class Olive Ophelia Ellis, United States Army. Private First Class Cody J. Eggleston, United States Army. Sergeant Kelly Robert Orton, United States Army. Lance Colonel John Scott Sanford, United States Air Force. Private Corey Michelle Feltner, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Tim Rancourt, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Isabella Rivera, United States Army. Private Andrea Denise Roser, United States Army. Private First Class Christopher Ryan Clausen, United States Army. Sergeant Nicholas A. Casey, United States Army. General Bernard William Rogers, United States Army. Sergeant Kevin D. Greco, United States Air National Guard. First Lieutenant Trevor J. Urista, United States Marine Corps. Specialist Seth David Happenin, United States Air National Guard. Private First Class Bradley S. Coleman, United States Army. Sergeant Scott J. Metcalf, United States Army. Private First Class Randall Lyndon Byler, United States Army. Sergeant Daniel W. Wallace, United States Air National Guard. Specialist Joseph Pavan Binion, United States Army. Senior Airman Ryan Cody Fisher, United States Air Force. Private Justin James Kenny, United States Army. Lance Corporal Barry Lee Wisely, United States Marine Corps. Petty Officer 3rd Class Levi J. Dennis, United States Navy. Staff Sergeant Jonathan R. Smith, United States Air Force. PFC Sharon Arminta Sutherland, United States Army. Sergeant First Class Brent Joseph Lantang, United States Army. Specialist Jolene Elizabeth Kraft, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Lawrence Vicker Poremski II, United States Air Force. Private Edgar David Badillo, Jr., United States Army. Sergeant First Class Philip J. Kirby, United States Army. Specialist Adam McCamey Wenger, United States Army. Sergeant William Justin McClellan, United States Army. Private First Class Theron V. Hobbs, United States Army. Master Chief Petty Officer Alan Scott Andrews, United States Navy. Private Paul Timothy Muse, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Timothy H. Walker, United States Army. Airman First Class Justin Franklin Doss, United States Air Force. Senior Master Sergeant Randy Charles Avila, United States Air Force. Private First Class Madison Dwayne Peterson, United States Marine Corps. Chief Warrant Officer Bobby Charles Jackson, United States Navy. Private First Class Huang Vu, United States Army. Senior Airman Ralph Leroy Tung Jr., United States Air Force. Master Sergeant Jonathan Lee Taylor, United States Air Force.
Sergeant First Class Eli Juan Toro, United States Army. Master Sergeant Mark Robert Mehedeno, United States Air Force. Lieutenant Colonel Yessi Jose Spencer III, United States Marine Corps. Sergeant Jose Regalado, United States Army. Specialist Corey M. Shea, United States Army. Senior Airman Marshall Lane Shea Harris, United States Air Force. Private First Class Adam Jokin Harwood, United States Marine Corps. Specialist Johnny L. Stiles, United States Army. Specialist Armando A. De La Paz, United States Army. Specialist James M. Clay, United States Army National Guard. Specialist, Sergeant Tentra Shanta Cook, United States Army. Master Sergeant James Gary Strong, United States Air Force. Corporal Aaron M. Allen, United States Marine Corps. Chief Warrant Officer 2, Christian P. Humphreys, United States Army. Chief Warrant Officer 2, Donald V. Clark, United States Army. Sergeant First Class Kevin Charles Prine, United States Army. Specialist Eric Joseph Salazar, United States Army. Private 2, Jacob MacArthur Sweet, United States Army. Petty Officer 3rd Class William Ryan Robertson, United States Navy. Staff Sergeant Derek Eugene Richardson, United States Army. Sergeant Robert Wayne Matthews, United States Army. Midshipman Frederick Henry Eisler, United States Navy. Staff Sergeant Catherine Emily Alexander, United States Army. Specialist Patrick Edward Middleton, United States Army. Specialist Michael Burgess, United States Army. Tech Sergeant Gregory Todd Payne, United States Air Force. Sergeant David Wayne Hollingsworth, United States Army. First Lieutenant Jesse Allen Elm, United States Air Force. Gunny Sergeant Marcella R. Valesco, United States Marine Corps. Private 1 Charles E. Barnett, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Isaac William Tugundi, United States Air Force. Private First Class Kyle Robert Stanley, United States Army. Specialist Miguel A. Wilson, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Nicole Lamisha Harris, United States Army. Sergeant Virgil S. Cornell, United States Army. Major Dominic Ramos Sano, United States Air Force. Lance Corporal Bryce Robert Butler, United States Marine Corps. Lance Corporal Bryce Jetson Rodriguez, United States Marine Corps. Staff Sergeant Shane Matthew Hyatt, United States Army. Lance Corporal Alex Guzman Lopez, United States Marine Corps. First Lieutenant William K. Jernigan, United States Army. Second Lieutenant Tyler Lewis Peterson, United States Army. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Randy Neat, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Grant Petty, United States Army National Guard. Captain Warren A. Frank, United States Marine Corps. Hospitalman Mehmet Dominic Dawkins, United States Navy. Sergeant Jessica Lee Basden, United States Army. Sergeant Timothy Scott Patterson, United States Marine Corps. Specialist Blake Allen Bruneau, United States Army. Private 1 Carl Andrew Williams, United States Army. Sergeant First Class Richard Lee Enlow, United States Army. Sergeant Christopher Mark Irvin, United States Army. Staff Sergeant Benjamin Brown the third, United States Marine Corps. Private First Class Blaine Nicholas Benjamin Adams, United States Army. Sergeant Major William Glenwood Bainbridge, United States Army. Specialist Raymond Roberto Jose Yelesic, United States Army. Petty Officer Second Class Juanitisa Hill, United States Navy. Airman First Class Michael Aaron Gregory, United States Air Force. Sergeant Stephen Paul King, United States Army. Sergeant Christopher Scott Norris, United States Army. At this time, we would like to take a moment of silence for all those that we read today. Amen. At this time, we would also like to ask if there's anybody in the audience that has lost a loved one. And if you are a Gold Star family member, please stand. I already know who the Gold Star families are. We've got Augie and Paulette Martoni, who are Gold Star family members. Justin Martoni was Gunnery Sergeant in the U.S. Marine Corps. Anybody out there have anybody that they lost, that they want to speak their name aloud while we're here? Just go ahead and say it.
Sergeant First Class Forrest Robertson, November 3rd, 2013.
Thank you.
Thank you. With your right hand over your heart to honor the flag, please stand for the playing of caps and remain standing until the color guard retires the colors. color guard, retire the colors.
Color guard attention. Color guard, retire the colors. Color guard, return to post. Color guard, about face. Color guard, advance.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony. Please feel free to visit with the runner, the fallen runners, and support team, and enjoy spaghetti dinner at VFW Post with free-will donations going to support the run for the fallen team.
All the runners that ran with us today, we have a flag that y'all need to sign in a book and put down how many miles y'all ran. So you please come forward and see Paulette. We can get that done.
Thank you. Thank you. Now go leave it with VFW, please.
So if anybody would like a t-shirt, I think we've got a couple over here for sale. It'll help us get us through the next town. Thank you so much.
Excuse me, everyone. I kind of hoped that they would have put a little harder sell on this, but I'm just going to do it for them. They are running a lean operation here, and this is a really nice ceremony that we were able to do here in Sebetha. I would really like it if you guys could show generosity to them, buy a t-shirt, go to the spaghetti supper, whatever it takes to get these guys past the next 60 days that they need to do so other communities can enjoy this type of ceremony and this type of recognition. Thank you.
I just had